Okay, there we go. I think we're up and running. How we doing, guys? If you can hear me, let me know. Make sure we've got everything set up here and we are running correctly. Pull that up. Yep, looks pretty good. Let's head over to the webcam. How we doing? Pull up the studio mode too. Hello, hello. Good morning. Loud and clear. Awesome. I'm doing very well, Clayton. I'm a bit tired. I have not been sleeping well recently. I'll be completely honest. I have not been getting much sleep. I don't know why. So I am quite tired today, but I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm in good spirits. I'm in good spirits. How are you doing, Clayton? Six String, how you doing? Good to see you again, Mr. Consistency. I'm going to start calling you. Welcome back. Appreciate you tuning in. We've got a couple opportunities. I won't be trading today, guys. Just early on. My decision making is probably not going to be paramount with I'm quite tired, and I've just been getting a lot of different organization stuff going on this morning as well. My head's in another place from trading, so I won't actually be taking any trades. However, I do see a few opportunities which I will be sharing with you guys that you guys can take if you want to take those. So just early on, I won't be taking any trades. But there are a few opportunities. The US dollar is looking great for an early buy this morning. So there are a few opportunities early in the morning that we could capitalize on. Okay, and I'll run you through those opportunities momentarily. We'll just give you a bit of time for everyone to come in and settle down and say hello. You're doing well yourself? Fantastic. How's everyone's trading week been? How's your trading going, guys? Are you performing the way you've wanted to perform? Have you hit your weekly goal? Looking here, New Zealand Japanese yen might be on. The US dollar pairs are definitely on. New Zealand dollar won't get us anywhere. That's already gone. Not too bad. Okay. What have you achieved this week, Six String? What have you achieved this week in terms of trading? Have you managed to hit any milestones? Have you noticed a pattern in any of your decision making? Have you been journaling correctly? Good, thank you. Welcome, Chato. Good to see you. I'm glad to know that you are well. Glad you are good. Appreciate you letting me know. Just having a quick scan before we look at the chart. A little less impulsive. Okay, big. Big. That's a big improvement. And especially noticing that you're a little less impulsive and a little bit more disciplined. Okay. Have you changed anything in your process to have that come to a reality, or has it just kind of happened this week? Um, Obviously, we want to be a lot less impulsive when it comes into trading. And usually, the best way to battle impulsive moves or impulsive decisions like that is to you get tired of losing. Yeah, that's one. Is to like go through that journaling process again and having that system and that strategy to be able to just calm down a little bit when you do make those decisions. So I'm always intrigued when you find some progress like this, where you find yourself being a little bit more disciplined. Are you saying that because it's worked out for you, or are you saying that because you've actually changed the process in which you're thinking? Because a lot of the time you may feel a little bit more disciplined like that, but in then 2 weeks' time, you just go back to being impulsive once you've got a bit of a win streak. So make sure you utilize this feeling of wanting to be more disciplined and wanting to be less impulsive to actually benefit your trading long term, not just during this short amount of time. But fantastic news. That's fantastic to see. Well done, honestly, well done. My favorite dude, welcome. Thank you. I'm glad you're your favorite. Hi, good morning, Jordan slash afternoon. Good morning, Horman. I keep going to call you the other one, but good morning, Horman. It's good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. You failed my bootcamp challenge, rushed in and bought the 24K instant funded account. Okay, starting off a little rough, but probably wasn't the best headspace. Studying a lot more, trying to be patient. Okay, yeah. Couple different things on that. Obviously, the bootcamp challenge and the instant funded account are two kind of different ball games, in my opinion. The instant funded account is a lot more professional, a lot more achievable, but also it comes with that added, you know, you're trading with our real funds. We want you to make money so we can make money off of you. So when it comes down to trading the instant funded, you definitely want to be a little bit more disciplined. Do keep in mind we give you 6 months, if not more. We can extend you past 6 months if your account's in profit. So don't rush to try and hit those targets. You have half a year, which is a long time in trading. So risk a lot less than what you should be. Really trade small and just gravitate slowly, and you'll notice your profits will roll in. But just honestly, just keep rolling very slowly, very slowly. Worst comes to worst, okay, you haven't made much progress in 3 months' time, but then you can come in, you can sit down with us, and we've got 3 months of trading data to sit through, and we can actually indicate where you can improve or where you're lacking. And then you can improve with us. You can use us essentially as a coach, but most people will jump into an account. Most people will jump into a trading account and just try to achieve the profit target in the first month, and they'll either lose the account or hit the profit target in like the first 3 weeks, but then they'll blow the next account. And rushing for that instant, it's still doing that cash grab. That cash grab we always talk about, trying to get rich quick. The moment you drop this, just literally think about, okay, well, ideally, what do you want to risk? And then use like 10% of that. Like, give it real short it down. Give yourself heaps of trading data. Give yourself time. Time is a trader's best friend, and it's time. Anyone can make 5 grand in 5 seconds in this market. Okay, on some of the things you're trading, you've probably got a 50% chance of doing that. Okay, but what not everyone can do is make 5 grand over 6 months of consistent trading, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for those people that can do that consistently. Maybe because you have an Aussie close friend? Maybe. But it sounds like a good bloke. You like the accent by the sounds of things. Yeah, I think my trade manager was booking it first, so it put me at higher risk than what I should have been at. Okay. I'm down more than I really should be. Made some good trades today though. Awesome. Yeah. You want to be risking really small amounts. I remember when I took my instant funded account, I went really low risk, like really low risk. I didn't hit the target. I hit the target in something like 5 months and 1 week. So I only had like 3 months left prior to actually getting to the target of where I'd be funded. So it took me the full 5 months and 1 week to pass because I was just risking so low. But when I look back and look at my equity curve, it's quite a beautiful sight. It's just a nice gradual equity curve. It's really, I love seeing charts like that. I love seeing that slow and steady climb in a trading chart. It is fantastic. Morning, Mick. How you going, mate? Welcome. It's good to see you. Anyway, enough chit chat. I know I'm not shouting in the way I usually do. I did mention early on I am quite tired. I've not been sleeping recently, and then I've had an absolute headache of booking a load of different things. I've just booked some flights this morning, and we all know what that process is like. I hope you know what that process is like because it can be dreaded. So there's a lot of different moving parts going on up here. So I'm not trading today because I'm not thinking about the charts. However, there are a lot of opportunities early this morning on both the Japanese yen, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. There's a fair bit. Okay, so I am going to run you through those opportunities, and I'm going to run you through what I would do, but I am not risk on today. Okay, my head's not in the game. I've got a million different other things going through my head, building different things. So my head's not in the game on trading today, so I won't be risk on. But what I will be doing is sharing the opportunities that I would usually be risk on with, okay? So much chart reading, exactly just it. How do I say your name? Juice Sweezy? Have I got that right? Or Juice Azzy? I probably butchered that remarkably. I hope it's not too bad, but I'll give it a red hot crack. First thing to have a look at when we jump into the charts here, okay? Bank of England hiked interest rates 50 basis points yesterday. That's the largest they've done in quite a long time. Look, recessions, we're getting in that area once again. We're getting in that area. The only way those interest rates came down from like 6% last time we were up there was a financial crisis that brought them right the way in. They're starting to hike a little bit higher. I know we're still only sitting around like 2%, but the higher those go, it gets a little bit we'll see what happens, okay? So keep that in mind, recessions, but it looks like it might be a world recession at this point in time, so keep an eye on that, on how everything's going to go there. But based off of that news yesterday, the pound obviously moved a fair bit. Now you can see which bias people had with such aggressive hike. Now usually, and most people ask this question when I get in these live streams as well, guys, interest rates being hiked is good for an economy. Why are they shorting the currency? Once again, we have passed the point where people are under the impression that an aggressive interest rate hike is good for an economy. Okay, usually an interest rate hike earlier on, okay, I'm talking 6 months ago, good for the economy. Now we're reaching those levels where when we've got up here, it's been a financial crisis or it's been something else that pulls it back down. So now we're starting to get up to these higher levels where it's like, okay, well, are we leading into an area where we can have a financial crisis? Are we leading into a recession type circumstance? Where are we moving? And you're going to see that word recession come up and pop up on the news day over and over and over again over the next, I don't know, couple months, I reckon. So as you can see, while it was an aggressive hike, which usually most people would be like, awesome, let's invest in the pound. You know, it's doing really well. They've had to hike the interest rates. Most people are now starting to go, whoa, I don't like that. I don't like that. We're getting close to a recession. So they've started to actually short it. And as you can see, it's moved pretty powerfully. This is Great British Pound, US dollar. And if you went off the entrance, yeah, there's a 100 pip move in here easily based off of that data. So trading interest rates are always very risky. I never recommend trading interest rates. But at the moment, if interest rates get hiked, short. And that's what I've noticed over the past, I want to say 4 or 5 weeks. Interest rates get hiked, it is shorting that currency at the moment. And you can see it's doing it with a bit of power. If it's only a small hike, maybe not. But if we are getting these large 50 basis points, 75 basis point hikes, it could be some massive opportunities to short those currencies within that, as fear is starting to linger. And everyone knows, we've seen it through the war, we've seen it through COVID. Fear sells. Fear sells. And then once the fears kind of set in and people realize, oh, this actually isn't that bad, that's when we get a bounce back up. Okay, fear always sells. So whenever there's an ounce of fear in this type of news releases, sell. Right? It's always quicker to drop than it is to climb. Talking about opportunities early this morning, US dollar Japanese yen buy is looking red hot. If we can get just below this line, so sit around the 132.75, we can sit around the 1.37. Oh, Jesus, words. Lack of sleep's hitting me. If we can sit around the 132.75, that means the Asian session's already moved a whopping 40 pips, which is about the average, if not a little bit over the average of what we've seen recently. We can probably look to pull this back in, okay? Now, you know how I do it. If we come in and we keep going against us, I'm looking for a 30 pip and a 20 pip. The more it goes against us, I would look to scale in this position also, okay? So as it goes like about 10 pips against us, look to scale in the position as such. Now, this is looking like a really clean trade, US dollar Japanese yen. We moved low. We've already moved the average range on what an Asian session does, okay? Early Asian session. So we've still got 2 hours left of this early Asian session before like all the stock markets get a little bit crazy. And we've already moved the average price. So usually what we'll see around this time is a fade of liquidity. So in that fade of liquidity, we'll end up sitting in this area up here, right? Because we don't have the volume to push it either direction. In the event that we do get a little bit lower, that is what I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking to fade that liquidity and push that back into this center area. And then we can sit around here for the next 2 hours, and then we can look for some bigger moves, okay? That's the best opportunity today by far, US dollar Japanese yen. The only thing I don't like is the Japanese stock market is going to open up soon. And you might see some volatility come into the Japanese yen, which may push it against us. However, this already being 40 pips, with our stop loss, it's going to be a whopping 70 pips. I don't think it's going to have the volume to actually be able to move 70 pips early session here, which gives me even bigger confidence in scaling in around these levels if we do manage to get down there. That by far is my best opportunity today. You've seen how I trade this type of setup. I've traded it almost every live trading room over the past few weeks. This by far best trading session for the day, okay? US dollar Swiss franc's got a very similar setup, but I don't love the Swiss franc. Okay, I don't love trading the Swiss franc early Asian session. We don't move much, which I guess can benefit us, but we can only catch about 10 pips, if that. So you can see there, that's only a 6 pip movement. If we manage to get down here, how much profit is really on the table? Not much. New Zealand Japanese yen is going to be a lot more volatile, both being Asian session pairs. Both stock markets going to be opening up in the next couple of hours. So there is the opportunity to fade this long spike, which come down yesterday. There is going to be that opportunity to fade and then push it back up. However, the volume might be in the price. Okay, there may be enough volume to truly break this level and head lower. There's a good chance there will be enough volume to achieve that. So we need to keep that in mind before we enter this trade, that if you are going to take this New Zealand dollar Japanese yen setup, be very cautious, risk a little bit less than what you usually do, because we may see the volume in that pair. New Zealand dollar CAD, very similar setup to New Zealand dollar US dollar, and he flipped to the top side. See if we can get up and then short it. It's nice. It is pretty nice. The only thing I don't like is like this is pretty smooth. The push up and the push down here is pretty smooth. So we kind of got this area. Wow, that wasn't a straight line. Kind of got this area in here, which is like free movement. And the thing is, if we do break above yesterday's high of the day, it puts us in that free movement channel. And being involved in that free movement channel, if we get a good, a decent stock market open and the volatility comes into the market, I don't see why the New Zealand dollar can't just push up to this higher level. And if it is pushing up to that higher level, our analysis is wrong, right? There's no chance to fade liquidity. So opportunities there, once again, not as strong. Best one by far is US dollar Japanese yen, which we'll keep checking on throughout the day. I spoke on the pound. We obviously got some big movements yesterday. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching the pound. And the reason is those big movements. Those big movements create volume, they create volatility, and they create interest. Okay, if you click on the chart and you see this, a lot of volatility traders, a lot of scalpers are going to be looking at that thinking, that looks pretty juicy. How can we run off that? You can see it's pulled back. For all my Fibonacci traders out there, it's pulled back around the 78, just short of the 78 mark of all of that news. Could be an indication that we are going to actually head lower today and maybe retest these lows later on. Personally, I think that is viable. I think that is what is going to happen. However, there was obviously a strong buy area right here down this bottom, and the only time we got up above that was news, and when we did get down here, it was also news related, and once again, we've gotten down here, and it's also news related. So we're seeing a lot of orders every time we're testing these lows. So the next time we test these lows, if there's no news around that area, we may be able to look for potential break through that area, or just kind of sit still for a little bit. But either way, I do think it will come back down to these lows. Okay, probably throughout today, but it might take over the weekend and a little bit more. As yesterday was quite the busy day. Great British Pound, not touching the Great British Pound pairs. Euro US dollar, too volatile. It's too much movement for my liking in the year. I like to see it something like this, or something like a gradual. Something like this is beautiful. These are the days that I love to trade the break above or break below. The kind of indecisive days. And as you can see, we pop up above and then it just gets absolutely stomped. When we see these high directional moves, I get less confident. You can see we broke the low of the day and it just ran through it a little bit there. When we broke the high of the day up here, we literally just ran through it. I don't like it. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I don't like it. I want to be buying the US dollar early morning, so I'd have to get this right the way up to the tops here. Euro US dollar doesn't move much in the first 4 hours of trading, so I don't think we're actually going to get an opportunity. But overall, I'm not a fan. Euro New Zealand's already broke above yesterday's high. right there, already sitting in the market. The thing is, it only moved 20 pips. Okay, that could have been an opportunity, but I'd say it's already gone. Anyone has any questions about all of this analysis at any point in time, do just yell at me. I know I'm just blabbering on right now, but do just yell and I will answer them. just so you know, this isn't like a one-way chat thing. The chat room's there for a reason. You can reach out and we can discuss different things. Euro Japanese yen's moving. I'm assuming that may be the Japanese yen. Yes, sir. Okay, so Japanese yen 922. This is why I wasn't trading today, guys. I haven't even checked the economic calendar. There you go. This is why I know myself and I know when I'm not thinking straight. I didn't even check the economic calendar, and right there you can see that we have news. We have news that has just been released, right? No, it's coming out at 9:30. I didn't even check that, and I'm looking at positions to get in. I guess that's a testament, if anything. That's why I'm risk off. I know I'm not vibing. Maybe you can learn from that. If you're not vibing yourself, if you're a bit tired, over time you learn when to be risk off and when to be risk on. And me being risk off today looks like it's going to be a great decision because I can't think straight today. I just cannot think straight. So there you go. There's a live example of what it's like catching yourself from being overexposed to a market when you're not ready to be overexposed. You've got to make sure you're in the zone. You've got to make sure your head's on straight. You've got to make sure you're concentrating. This isn't like a part-time thing. I can come in after a long day and just click a couple buttons and make some cash. You do need your full attention and full attention to detail within that. However, these were positions I was looking at before, and I did say I will paper trade them. I'm not actually trading them, but I will paper trade them today to show you guys what I would have done if I was actually trading. So here we go. First two positions have been entered. I won't look for a third position. I do like the setup, but I'm not going to look for a third position solely based off of that push there. There's a bit of oomph, I like to say, a bit of oomph in that move. But we have had a very, very convincing bearish run here, which is very nice to see. I know a lot of people will be like, what do you mean it's nice to see it's going against you? It's just really giving me more confidence that we can have the ability to push back up here. So the two positions are in. Usually I would look to add another position down here with a pretty tight stop loss and then a take profit all the way back up to the top. But once again, I'm not that confident today, so I'm not going to look to add that position. But we are in the trade US dollar Japanese yen, not taking US dollars Swiss franc. So was that a US dollar move rather than a Japanese yen move? No, because New Zealand dollar Japanese yen move. Bit of volatility happening in the market, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it unfolds. I know most of you just love listening to me, but if you are there and you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up because the chat hasn't moved in a little bit, and there are a few people in here, and I just want to make sure my chat's not frozen. So if you can see me and you can hear me, let me know. You good? Okay, cool, awesome. Everyone's just listening then. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. I've got everyone captivated, right? I've got everyone captivated. That's a good sign. Rocky, how you going? Thanks for the thumbs up, mate. I appreciate it. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Opportunities aren't great this morning. It's just that US dollar Japanese yen, really, and that trade's already in. Wow, wow, wow. How much volatility was in the market yesterday? Woo. Dina's show, awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Look at that volatility in the market today, hey? Or yesterday. Yeah, don't want to really fade that. See if we can get back up here. If we can get back up into like this area, I'm gonna look to take maybe the second position off. But we'll see. We'll see what it can do because I won't be surprised if we get a little bounce. Usually, what we'll see in these times is a big move, a bounce, push back probably up to this black line, and then a push a little bit lower and then a pull back up. So I won't be surprised if we don't get up to this level just yet. If we do just get up to this black line and then push further back down, but I'll keep an eye on it. Thoughts on New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen? What time frame are you trading? Like as the opportunity? Very similar to US dollar, Japanese yen. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact we are going to get extra volatility when New Zealand dollar stock market opens and the Japanese stock market opens, because they're both going to be open during this time, which is going to be a massive increase in volume. And if I'm looking to fade moves and like catch a load of people out who have sell orders down here, I don't want that extra volume, because if that volume is in there, it will have enough power to just push through and completely ignore my order. My attempt is that most people are going to be selling under here under the impression, or not knowing that we've had a session break, under the impression that we're going to get another move like this. Okay, now we all know if the volume's not in the market, there's no chance you're going to get another move like that. So what I like to do is try and capitalize on that when we do get a breakout, look to fade it back to the inside. Okay, early Asian session fading, low volume, fade the big moves. Essentially, that's what I'm looking at doing. So if we do get a break below here, I am looking to fade it back in. Now, while this might work out, New Zealand stock market's going to open soon. Japanese stock market's going to open soon. Bit of Japanese yen news coming in as well. There's going to be some added volume within this pair, which is why I don't really want to touch it in case it can produce another powerful move. US dollar, Japanese yen, I'm happy taking because there's no news expected for the US dollar. I know a lot of you guys are from the US, but you're starting to die down. You're having dinner. You know, it's getting late. People are getting off the charts. There's not too much messing around going on. And with that lower volume in the US dollar, we can capitalize on fading there. May I ask how you came to that trade in the US dollar, Japanese yen? Were you looking at the demand zone around that area? No. Sorry, I just needed a drink there. So I was looking at the US dollar, Japanese yen because it had already moved about 40 pips. Okay, the average between the first 4 hours of the Asian session, the average US dollar, Japanese yen moves is about 38.8 over the last like 4 months or something. Right, I did the calculations the other day. And what you'll notice is as it moves its average, if on top of moving its average, if on top of moving its average, it's breaking a strong area, for me, it indicates that we're going to be able to fade that break. Okay. It's like imagine trading on a roulette table. Everyone who's ever gone and played roulette, this strategy is essentially going to a roulette table and you see all the red and you see all the black, and then finding a couple of key things which mean there's more black squares than there is red squares. Okay, so what we're doing is we're getting the edge, we're turning those odds instead of against us for us, and we can actually build a bit of a plan to the point where our edge is like, if we bet on black, there's a 70% chance we're going to win. And that's what I do. That's the theory behind this strategy. Okay, so I'm looking for these larger than average moves in the early session, and then I'm looking to fade them because there's not enough volume in the early sessions to actually sustain these larger moves. So if we get a larger than average move like we have here, and with this big push down, and then we broke yesterday's low, we just tapped below yesterday's low, it's giving me a strong idea that we actually got a large move. It's larger than average. You know, we've gotten under some structure. I can fade the hell out of this and pull this back in because there's not enough volume in the market right now to actually sustain these types of moves. If it does move against me, okay, I'll give it a little bit of space. I do always have a stop loss, and I will look to scale in the position because as it moves against me, the more and more confident I am that it's going to pull back in. Okay. Not trading like a martingale or anything like that. Please don't do that. I have a set stop. And if it hits that stop, I do close out all of my positions. Please note that. And sometimes I actually look to scale out prior to that happens. And you've seen that live in the last few times I've traded live. But that's the analysis behind this strategy, right? It's a very simple one. I'm looking to fade those early morning volumes. I also like to have a bit of a bias in terms of what I actually want to do. US dollar. Look, I'm happy buying the US dollar right now. I'm not going to lie, which is surprising to some. And I can't really put my finger on why. Like I can. There's obviously a lot of statistics that have led me in that direction, but I'm just kind of like I don't know. I'm just why do you think yen is going up? Demand. I think I'm lagging, so sorry if this is untimely. No, I don't think you're. What do you mean? I think I'm biased for the yen coming down. You shorted it right where I want to buy. See, this is interesting. Okay, this is the thing, and that's what I'm trying to catch out here. Okay, because while we've had this massive break of structure right here and a nice move like that, it indicates to a lot of traders, okay, a lot of traders that we're gonna get another move like this, a nice breakout early on, and you can see the volume in that breakout candle. You can see how many people shorted on that breakout candle. Okay. Now the thing is, we don't have the volume. That's pretty much all the volume of the short sellers in that candle right there. Okay. That candle right there was all the volume of the short sellers breaking this area. They're like, yes, we're getting this great analysis. Now, there's no other volume coming in to push this down. Okay, unless these guys are capitalizing on more and more positions in this area, which it looks like they might be doing with a bit of wicks here. There's no new people coming late and going, yes, let's short that. The volume's a lot less. There's a quarter of the crowd of what you see during these times. And you can see that by just looking at the tick volume, right? Sorry, I'll get to your question in a moment, Daniel. I have seen it. I'll just get there once I've explained this. If you look at the volume in these areas, we're not well, actually we're up there at the moment, tick volume wise. But we do usually sit a lot less than you see down here, a lot less than what you usually get. And when you are sitting in these lesser times and these lesser volume areas, it's hard for the chart to sustain these moves that you want it to do. So if you're a trend trader or you're looking for a quick move, which most people are looking for as you break these lows, break this structure, it actually doesn't happen. It doesn't sustain. And that's why I'm looking to fade this here, Horman. I hope that explained how I came to that trade as well, Clayton. And now Daniel. Okay, hello. I'm new to this, and I hope you don't mind me asking where you learned to read the charts. I've been able to read volatility, volume, market trend, structure, etc. 6 years of experience. I guess that's the best answer I can give you. It wasn't like a trading course or anything that I did. I have been a part of those. Most of them, unfortunately, aren't very good. But the 6 years of experience, trialing, testing, trading, trialing, testing, trading, testing, trading, being involved in prop firms, being surrounded by like-minded traders. Experience is where I really learned. It took me a little while to really adapt to the Asian session. I traded the US session. I liked most people do. We like the volatility because you get a volatility something like this, right? You get a breakout there. Look at it. It just runs. It's lovely. And that's what we're looking for. Whereas in the Asian session, we don't kind of get that. We get a lot of time to wait around and see what happens and everything like that. It doesn't move and it doesn't move. The reason it doesn't move is because it doesn't have that volume, which is going back to why I've looked to buy here rather than short, like most people would be looking to short. Looks like US dollar Swiss franc's going to pull in quite well there, but we'll keep an eye on that on how it plays out. Once again, New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen's carrying through. As I said, I don't love it because I think it might have the volume with both stock markets opening up to be able to move, which is why I haven't traded that here. Not trading New Zealand dollar CAD, as we discussed before. We're sitting in this open channel, which we can move through. So the only one I'm looking at right now is US dollar, Japanese yen, which is going to sit still, and it probably will sit still for a little while here. Japanese yen news came out, and it didn't even move the market. What are we looking at? Positive news. Positive news for the Japanese yen, but the chart's going up. Well, once again, most of those short sellers, in my opinion, they filled all of these orders here. So short sellers are running short. They're running low. As I said, When we do get this big volume, we usually look to bounce back up here. I won't be surprised if it does pull back in and then go back up, but I do think we'll be sitting around this area. If we do get up, like in this doji candle up here, I will look to take off half the position. That's where we're sitting at right now. I'm not adding any more positions to this. So we're risking about 0.66R, okay, because I haven't got a full position. And I'm not actually trading this, just so everyone knows. I'm not actually trading today. I'm not in the right headspace to actually go risk on with my accounts, so I'm not live trading this, but I am running you through what I would be doing if I was live trading it. Okay, so you can still get just as much value, but it's very important that you do know I'm not live trading it, and the reason I'm not live trading it is because I am knackered, I'm very tired, and my head's not switched on properly. Howdy, Joshua. Howdy, howdy. Howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy. You normally only take 2 positions on the same trade. John, it depends on the confidence level I have. If it depends on the confidence level, and it also depends on how long it goes against me. Okay, so sometimes I'm going to get in the trade and it's just going to go my way instantly. Then I'll only have the 1 position in. And as it goes against me a little bit, I'll add another position. As it goes against me a little bit more, I'll add another position. So full lot size, like full risk, I'll go 3 positions. I'll scale in as it goes against me. But usually, and like on an average, I usually end up only getting the 1. The only reason I'm not adding a 3rd today isn't because it's not come down yet, but I'm not adding a 3rd just because my confidence level isn't through the roof. It's high, but it's not through the roof, which is why I'm not looking at trading that extra position anyway. Thank you. No worries, Arthur. Glad you enjoyed. Really enjoying this so far. First time viewer, any advice for the bootcamp challenge? Just starting it again. How often do you do these live sessions? I'm live every week, this time every week. This time, this day, every single week I'm live. That may increase in the future, but we'll see. We've got a couple of different things in the works. Advice for the bootcamp challenge. It's tough. Given advice, it's just going to be very generic because I don't know much about your trading strategy or anything like that. So my advice to you, honestly, would just be take your time. Take your time, and if you need help, ask for it. If you're struggling or you don't know whether you should be taking a position or not, don't take the position. And if you need help, ask for it. Okay, we've got a full senior analyst team here. We can help you. Just send us an email. If you need help, ask for it. That's my biggest advice to anyone involved with us. If you need help, ask for it. Okay, we're not against you, we're for you, we're with you, and we can help where we can help. You might as well utilize those expertise while you can. Josh, that is correct. I am in the beautiful Melbourne, Australia. I am. Are you, well, howdy. So you're either howdy, let's get rowdy, or howdy from the US. It's one of them. I'm hoping it's howdy, let's get rowdy, because if it is, I mean, it just makes me feel good to say it. It's just an Australian thing, right? Okay, so we're sitting in that area now. You can see where we're sitting, where I won't be surprised if we do come back down. Okay, I said this from the start. I won't be surprised if we do come back down around here. So keep that in mind. I'm not freaking out. I am expecting it to pull in a little bit here, so don't worry. I'm jealous. My mum is going to be there in a few weeks, but negative Texas. Okay, so howdy US. Okay, I was close. I knew it was one of them, right? Only two that say howdy. I don't think anywhere else says howdy. Yeah, Australia's a beautiful place. It's cold at the moment. It's cold. She's coming over in winter. Not sure that. I mean, she'll get to see all the live sport, which is fantastic. But it's pretty chilly over here. But no, awesome. I'm glad your mum's experiencing and traveling. It's always good to see. I highly recommend anyone does that when they can, and especially if you're a trader, even better. You know why? Because you can work from anywhere. It gets harder. Don't think it's easy. It does get harder, but it is doable. Okay. As a whole, quite like the trade, if I'm honest. We'll see how it plays out, but I am quite happy with how this is sitting. Sounds nice. Been hotter than hell here. Yeah, in summer it gets hot. Don't get me wrong, but we're in winter right now, so it's a little bit chilly. Howdy, New Zealand. Oh, you say howdy in New Zealand? Thank you. Not used to the analyst before. I should do that in the future. Finally sorted my edge. Just forcing off my psychology. I shall take my time this time around for sure. Thanks again. No worries, mate. I look forward to seeing you progress. Yeah, it's the beauty in working in a firm, right? We have the community. We have these live trading rooms. We have our analyst team. We have the Discord. There's so much community aspect and so many people out there that are willing to help and resources that we can deliver. It's just that's when you sign up for an account and you pay your sign up fee, you're not just getting in and then taking the account and that's that. You become part of us. You become essentially an employee. We have a partnership. We need you to make money, so we make money. So our goals are aligned and we work together, and I think that's the beauty in this. Yeah, you sure do. Awesome. Whereabouts in New Zealand you're from, Tinus? Is it Tinus or Tinus? Is that me? Is that just my Australian accent with me saying Tinus? Hi, I'm looking to short in the 133.50 to 133.70 zone. It might take a while. 133.50. You're looking to get it all the way up here. Okay. Okay. What are you looking to short in this area for? What's your analysis there, Jal? It's always nice when you're live commentating a chart and it's doing exactly like what you were expecting it to do. It's always just a nice feeling. A nice feeling. I do, Horman. Yeah, not very often. Not very often at the moment. I've been so flat out with other projects that I don't spend much time diving deep into the analysis of the larger time frames. I've been sitting around looking at these because I mean I'm in and out in a couple hours. But I do still look at that when I get a chance. When I get a chance, but I'm not holding any longer term positions right now. At the moment, I am taking shorter term trades, so I can spend my time working on the other stuff. I have been pretty busy recently. This allows me to just kind of do my trading quick, in and out, sorted type of vibe. No, it's fine. You're from Capty Coast near Wellington. Also, I've still yet to hop over the sea. I need to do it. I need to do it soon. I've got a lot of different trips booked in at the moment, but I need to find. I might late next year. Might find an opportunity to hop over to New Zealand because I do. It looks beautiful. It does look beautiful. Yeah, Holman, I'll still be looking for that. I'll still be looking for the 4 hour time frames, looking for those breaks. It's going to be a. We got some drawings here for you, but um, looking for those breaks of structure, trying to pop up. But recently I've just been looking. Yeah, it didn't get low enough. See if I can find one for you quickly. You expect a retest of August 3rd resistance to short? Yeah, fair enough. Been watching your course today on the psychology module. Good stuff, man. It's a huge help. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate that. Hey, yeah, we did update all the course, and it is been renovated, and it's me talking now. It's I run everyone through. There's a bit of an opportunity for your home in New Zealand, Swiss franc potentially. Haven't looked at the I haven't had a look at the fundamentals. Keep that in mind. I haven't looked at the fundamentals for this trade, but we did get a nice break of structure there, push up. We're coming down into this buy area. Realistically, you could probably look for a buy anywhere in this area, but the kill zone is going to be down here. And then you could look to wrong one. Then you could look to probably push this back up to around these levels. But yeah, I haven't been trading that over the past couple of weeks. I've just been concentrating on the smaller time frame stuff that I can just kind of keep my trading accounts going, keep the income coming, but also focus on some other things that I'm working on. As predicted, pulling back in. Nice to see. Recouping. Very nice, following even what you write. Oh, awesome, Arthur. I appreciate that. Yeah, I do try to. I've noticed a few times, even on the TradingView account, we have missed out on getting on the weekly digest recently, which is the shame. I've been producing quite some good quality content, which I think help a lot of people. But it's up to TradingView what gets on that, I guess. Sorry if I keep drinking on the camera, guys. I do need water when I'm talking a lot non-stop for an hour. You do get thirsty. Are you using any specific target strategy, trying to find something that fits my goals and risk to risk versus reward? Okay. I've just had three different people ask about risk to reward at the same time. What are the odds of that? Look, risk to reward. When I'm looking in the trade, okay, so my first entry is like a 0.6 or something like that, right? Risk to reward. Second entry is like a 1.5, I think it is, and then third entry is like a 4. So all up, if I manage to get all positions, I think as a whole, recently over the past 2 months, my average R to R is about 1.23 or something. And my win rate's up at like 77%. Okay, so it runs well. But yeah, my first entry I have negative risk to reward. My second entry is just positive, but them two combined gets me to about 1 to 1 risk to reward ratio. So my risk to reward ratio is not big. I'm not a set and forget trader. It's very important to understand that I'm not a set and forget trader. So risk to reward ratio doesn't necessarily correlate when setting the position. It all pulls into play once I'm out of the positions. I do scale in and scale out of my positions. As I said, if we get up to this blue line, I'm going to be taking half the position off. Okay, so that ruins the risk to reward ratio of that to that. So risk to reward, while it is a great tool to review trades and to understand your expectancy and whether or not your strategy is profitable, when you're micromanaging trades like this, it's just not as beneficial as a set and forget strategy the way most people do. Um, exactly, Joe. Exactly. That's great. I appreciate your help on that. Any indicators you're looking at for entry? Nah, price action. Mostly price action. You can bring indicators in. I like trading Bollinger Bands. I was chatting to someone in a portfolio analyst meeting last week about Bollinger Bands and the way to actually use them. Well, the way I always use them rather than the way most of the market use them. And gave him insights on that, which I think he appreciated too. Sometimes looking at Bollinger Bands to measure volatility and to measure volume, measure direction. Sorry, I struggled to get that word out. To measure direction. Hello, my name is Divine. Welcome, Divine. It's great to see you. Yeah, but as a whole, it's mostly price action, volume, support, and resistance for this type of strategy. I mean, you could pull in and add that extra black square on the roulette table if we're talking like that using something like an RSI. Even better if you get an over than average move, a break below the low, and we're oversold. I mean, that's an extra black square, I guess, on the roulette table. You can have a look at a load of different things to kind of build up your trade idea. Have each trade you take its own trade idea. What is that trade idea's edge? What is telling you that trade is going to move in your favor? And make sure you have don't just sit there and be like, oh, my strategy is telling me. Well, no. Have each trade you take have its own idea. Why is this going to move that way? Yes, use your strategy, but what specifically within that strategy is telling you that this is going to be work? What's your edge? What's your edge in the market? And that's what you do here. Is I look for the edge. I'm looking to fade the volatility. Okay, one tick. Yeah, we pop behind the low, 2 ticks, bigger than average move, 3 tick, whatever it might be, and build your edge until you can kind of sit in that area where there's like a 60 to 70 to 80% chance that this is going to work out. Then you take that trade. Pretty good advice. I'll definitely do that. Will help narrow down what works best for me personally. It is. It's just like you find. I know a really fantastic trader. Okay, he's based out in Melbourne. He's made a lot of money. A lot of money. He now runs a firm in Melbourne, and his whole trading strategy. And I kid you not, I can share this with you now. His whole trading strategy was on the daily chart. When we get a break above a high or a break above a low, he would grab Fibonacci. Okay, we had a break above a high here. Okay, he would grab Fibonacci, go like that. He'd set a buy order at the 0.5. At the 0.5, okay, or a reminder. Sorry, not a buy order, a reminder at the 0.5 pullback, and then go ahead and grab a load of indicators, he would just build a trading idea. He goes, okay, the base strategy is we're looking for a pullback after a bullish or bearish move. We're looking for a pullback. And then he would build his trade idea. He'd be like, yeah, US dollar's strong because of this. I want to buy it fundamentally. Then RSI's oversold. We're sitting around that 50 mark. That's another point added to this trade's, chances. MACD just crossed over to the bullish side. Like, he would just literally just build his trade idea. So his strategy was very simple. Have a break above a high, break above a low, and a pullback, trade that. But he wouldn't just trade that. He would then build the trade idea to get as much evidence and as much favor in his corner as possible, and then take the trade once the odds were in his favor. Same thing with every trading strategy you kind of want to do. You want to pull everything until all the odds are in your favor, and then move with it. Here we go. Okay, so it's pulling right the way back in now. As I said, I expected this to happen. So usually I would look to maybe scale in again. I'm not going to do that today. I am just going to wait and see. But my prediction is to pull in here and then to come back up. Okay, that's my prediction for this trade. Oh, excuse me. So the strat you're using now work in all major pairs. It's not a. I wouldn't recommend trading it without doing thorough analysis with it. It's about understanding the pairs fundamentally. It's about understanding the currencies, understanding volatility, understanding when not to trade. It's not a strategy that is quite easy to pick up. I would try to stay away from double Asian session pairs. Stick to the volatility, but there's a lot of different things. Okay, but yeah, it should work on any pair you want to trade. As long as you get the circumstances correct. Pretty simple. Sometimes simple is best, but I'm heading off dinner time. Thanks for chatting in the advice. Good night. No worries, Joshua. I'll catch you a bit later. Yeah, that guy, he made millions of dollars trading. And he runs a massive prop firm, and that's his strategy. His strategy is pull back 50%, build a trade idea, then trade the ones that have a good trade idea. Each trade has its own trade idea. And it's as simple as that. And sometimes trading is as simple as that. He just runs that. If I were to add another position, now would be the time to do so. Again, not doing that, but now would be a great time to add that position. But yeah, that's wow, it's already been an hour. Look at that. Bit of volatility is going to creep in. Stock markets opening up. Japanese yen stock markets, Japanese stock markets going to be opening up. The ASX, Australian stock markets going to be opening up. We'll see you soon. Thank you all. In the US, no worries. I look forward to seeing you soon. Enjoy your day. Last question from me today. What's the rationale for putting a stop loss there? Okay, that's based off of the usual average, what we see in US dollar, Japanese yen in the first few hours. So the reason the stop loss is placed there, because it's very, very, very rare that we do get enough volatility to move 70 pips. When we do get that volatility to move 70 pips, it usually moves a lot further than 70 pips. Okay, so the rationale behind putting my stop loss there is average based statistically, that when we do manage to move that far early in the session, we end up moving 100, 110 pips and it just keeps going. So at that point, I'm happy to be out of the position because that indicates to me that there is volatility in this market and that I shouldn't be involved in it. That's the rationale behind putting my stop loss there. I hope that makes sense. I think that might have made sense. But I hope it did. I hope it did. I've studied pairs these first 4 hours and everything. I understand the averages. I understand what they're capable of. I understand when I should be and when I shouldn't be. Yeah, it's similar like the ATR. Similar. Yeah. Yeah, in a sense. But not. But not. Yes, but no. Yeah. No, you're on the right track. It's based of what its average can do, but it's more statistically based that when it does that, it usually does a lot more. And it indicates to me that there's a lot of volume and volatility in the market if we can move 70 pips early on. So I don't want to be in it because I'm looking to fade these larger moves when there are, when there's less volatility in the market. It's the reason also I don't trade this Mondays. Strategy, I don't trade Mondays because you get a lot of volatility in Monday morning. Right? People wake up over the weekend, they want to react to something that's happened over the weekend, or they want to set their positions for the week. You get extra volatility. I don't want to be involved in that. So keep that in mind too. I'm vibing. I'm vibing and vibing and vibing. If we can pull up to this area, I might look to get out of the bottom position, so bank the profits of the bottom position. Um, but we'll see because I'm still pretty confident in it. I still like it. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe we'll hold on. Maybe we'll hold on. Hmm. We'll have to watch it throughout today. This trade might go for a few hours yet. Okay, we're approaching the end time. We have been live for about an hour now. Does anyone have any questions for me before I do call it a day and call it a week, and then we move into next week's trading? Does everyone have any questions or anything they want to say now? Is the perfect chance to do so. Let me know. It's been a very active trading day today, which has been good. Obviously, I've been risk off because I don't like my decision making today. My head's in another place, but I still hope you enjoyed seeing what can be done and what I would have done in the event that I was risk on. Thank you, Six String. I appreciate it. You too. I hope you have a great weekend. No, no questions. All right, cool. Thanks for your time. Stay blessed, Jordan. Thanks, Rocky. Appreciate it. Do you use a volatility indicator? If so, which one? I do not use a volatility indicator. No, no. I can usually see volatility just by price action. Right, you can get a pretty good understanding if there's volume in the market on pure price action, and that's what I like to gauge it on. I don't use an indicator for that. Very good insights today. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. John, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the weekend, Tinas. You too. I appreciate you. All right. Well, just before I end up, let's see if this can get a little bit higher for us, eh? How did our other positions end up? Yeah, see, US Swiss franc didn't move anywhere. Japanese yen, look at that. This is why whoever asked about New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen, that is why I didn't take it. You can get the volume in that pair early on with the stock markets opening up. Let's try, and here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. This trade did exactly, and I mean to the T, in every sense, what I thought it would do. That's not very often that happens. Not very often that happens at all. What a great result. Keep an eye on it. I'm going to look to scale out on this blue line, take full profits at the top, or get stopped out down the bottom. If we do, actually, on that note, just before we end, let's go ahead and pull these stops up. Now that we've already pushed up, let's take a bit of risk off. Stops are up there, okay? Looking to get out up around this blue line. Depending on how long we sit here, I might look to scale out of the bottom position at that point in time. And then obviously full targets up here, but we'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep everyone updated in the Discord on how this unfolds. As always, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. That's going to be pushing up quite nicely for us, which is always good to see. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Make sure to get some time away from the charts. Go spend some time with your friends, spend some time with your family, reset, come back on Sunday or Monday, and have a fantastic trading week. I look forward to chatting you all in the firm, seeing you progress, and let's make some money. All right, guys, I'll catch you later.